Hey, it's Gabe with API Nation. Today I'm going to show you how you can connect Zillow to your KW Command Rainmaker Teams account. That way all those leads that are coming over from Zillow can automatically get put into KW Command using your Rainmaker account. You can even send it through the lead routing that you've set up in KW Command so you make sure it goes to the exact agent you want using those rules you've already set up in Command. You could also just use the manually routing options inside the sync. I'll show you both. Let's set it up. It's going to make your speed to lead way better and allow your team to convert more leads. Here we go. The first thing you're going to do is go grab the sync. So in Command, you can find it in the KW Marketplace. So you can click this little Marketplace icon. That'll take you to the KW Marketplace here, and you can just search for Zillow. That'll bring up a tile that looks like this, Zillow and KW. And you're gonna want the one that says Rainmaker and Teams under it. That way you can connect the Rainmaker account, get those leads exactly where you want using the lead routing. Go ahead and click the button up here. It'll probably say Buy App, Purchase App. It's gonna take you through the process of purchasing it. Once that's done, the app will live in the My Apps area of KW Command. So if you click on that, it'll take you to a page that looks like this, where all the apps you've purchased in the marketplace live. There is Zillow in KW Command. So once you've purchased it, it's here in My Apps, but it's not yet active. You need to activate it. Come in here, click on the tile, and that's going to take you out to API Nation to set up the sync and activate it. So what you're going to see here is the syncs available between these two apps, and that is syncing the leads from Zillow into KW. So I'm going to check the box here and say that's the one I want and hit continue to set up. Now it's going to ask me which KW account am I setting up here. I'm going to choose this one. That's the team. That's the Rainmaker account. That's the one I'm setting up, and hit select. And now we're going to connect Zillow. So I'm going to hit the connect button. It's going to ask me to label the connection. So I'm going to name this after myself. I'm going to call this Gabe's team. And this is just so you can differentiate between this connection you're adding to your API Nation account, and if you have other Zillow accounts or Zillow connections you're adding to this same API Nation account. It's pretty rare, but we want to make sure you can tell the difference. I'm going to hit create connection, and it's going to give me a connection ID. So I'm going to copy that, and I'm going to go over to Zillow, go all the way to the right and click the drop down for the settings. Click that drop down, go to settings. There we go. Go over to the left and click on app integrations. Select app integrations. And I'm going to choose to link app under one-way integrations. From the partner drop down, I'll choose API Nation and hit next. And then for the login email address, I'm going to go back to API Nation and grab that connection ID and paste it in there. There we go. Now the connection is made. So I can go back to API Nation. And now that connection is available here. So I'll go ahead and select it. And there we go. You can see we've connected both the apps. We're confirming we're creating the sync. It's going to get created in the draft status. So we're just going to go through a few things to confirm and activate. So this is the draft of the sync. If I wanted, I could just hit this big button and then it's off and running. But a few things to consider. First is the thing we talked about earlier. As you're syncing these leads from Zillow into KW Command, do you want to use the lead routing rules you've set up in KW Command? If you do, check the box. There you go. Now it's going to send it to the lead routing. Make sure you specify a source. I'll do that. That way it can incorporate that into its lead routing in KW Command. So that's available. That way you can use that awesome tool that's already in KW Command. If instead you'd like to manually kind of assign these things, you can do it. You can decide if you want these contacts from Zillow even to be marked as leads. Maybe you just want to mark it as a contact, so you can do that. I'm going to mark it as a lead. And maybe you're just setting this up for a single agent, or you're assigning a single agent to all your Zillow leads for now. You can do that. Maybe I just want Greg to work on those. And then again, you can decide your source. Finally, this box here, do you want to overwrite the information in KW Command? If this contact coming on for Zillow already exists in KW Command, should we completely overwrite what we already have in KW Command, or check the box and it'll just fill in any blanks on this contact that already exists in KW Command? Totally up to you. I'm going to go ahead and clear out the agent. If I do that, it's just going to assign it to me. That's fine with me. And this is ready to go. A couple last things to look at. There is a filter here. So if you want to do something special with any of these leads, most people, when they're syncing the leads into KW Command, they don't do much with the filter. They just want the leads in there, and then they'll handle it once they get into KW Command. If for some reason you decide, you know what, I only want leads that have a message or notes, or leads that are from a certain zip code, you could do that. I could say search criteria contains 90210. And then only leads that have the search criteria set to that zip code will come over. Totally up to you if you want to do that. Like I said, most people, they just don't use a filter. They just want all the leads to get into KW Command as soon as possible. If you make any changes here, don't forget to save. Finally, let's come down to mapping. We do most of this for you: first name, last name, email, phone. If there's anything else though, let's come down to description. This can be pretty helpful. You can see we're syncing over source. If I wanted to add a tag, I could just type it like Zillow, or I could use the information from Zillow. For example, I think they have, let's see here, if there's anything here that would be great for a tab, maybe type or lead type, something like that. Any information about the property. There's just a ton of information that's coming over with each of these leads that could be helpful as you follow up with them. So you can use this as a tag. I'm just going to call it Zillow leads as my tag. And then up in the description, I'm going to add some of those helpful pieces of information. For example, I'm going to go ahead and put the notes in there, the message. So I'll type message and then put that in there. And then I'll type notes, colon, put the notes in there, and anything else you might want to add. Let's see, maybe I want to see if there's a price. Yeah, let's do it. Property info. What is the price of the property they're looking at? Price, colon, there we go. So yeah, any of this information here, go ahead and search for whatever's going to be most helpful and sync it into the appropriate fields in KW Command. Once you're all set, you'll hit activate your sync, and that's it. Your sync is now up and running. Now Zillow is connected to KW Command. Any leads that are coming over from that connected Zillow account will go right into KW Command. You can assign it to lead routing so that it goes to the agent you've set up using those rules, or you can configure the sync manually to assign to a particular agent using a particular source. That's it. Now your leads are going to come right over, go to the agent you want. You don't have to copy, paste, import, export, none of that stuff. Your team just sees the leads, follows up, improves their speed to lead, and creates more deals. If you need any assistance setting this up for you or your team, go to apination.com/KW. There you can call us, send us an email, and even set up a live session of support. We're API Nation, connecting the world's applications. We love doing this stuff.